Saving money for college? Our guest, private wealth advisor Saul Simon, is back with some tips on how to do just that. Welcome back, Saul.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Talk about the strategy of saving for college. It's not like just putting a few dollars away every week.
Yeah, no, it's really overwhelming. The amount of money that's required to have available for a child to go to school it could be $40 or $50 or $60,000.
Yeah.
So what I'm advising people to do is on a monthly basis, put aside money, create a little bit of a forced savings plan, pay yourself first, which Simon always says, and have the discipline to set aside money in various accounts. When you have the time frame of putting money away for 10 years or 20 or 15 years, very often it does make sense to look at putting money into a broad-based mutual fund consisting of maybe some stocks and bonds so that you can get the most rate of return on that account. And granted, it's going to fluctuate, so you want to understand and look at the prospectus and read the rules so that you can properly invest the money for your son or daughter.
Now, there's those of us, present company included, I must admit, that waited until the kids got in junior high and said, okay, well, now we got to start planning for college. But you've got to start earlier than that.
You sure do. You sure do. You know, the government wants you to save for your children's education because everybody realizes the importance of being able to save for the future, to fund our children and have it be a better lifestyle and have them be educated.
So are we talking about looking at the newborns or the infants and saying, okay, let's start putting it away now?
Yeah, it's never too early to start, really, even before you have children, and it's never too late to start socking away some money. So the government created a plan called the 529 plan, and it's a college savings plan, and it allows an individual, a grandparent, a parent, even a friend, to put away a maximum of $13,000 a year per child to save money for that person on an annual basis.
Now, there are two kinds of 529s, right?
Yeah, there's a prepaid state plan where I'm locking in on the costs today so that inflation on a college basis is not going to be taking away the power of my money. And then there's also this 529 savings plan where you make these contributions, a maximum of $13,000 a year, and whatever the account is going to be worth is available. Now, the good news on a 529 is allowing the money to grow tax-free so that there's no taxation. Second, the beneficiary, the recipient, your child, is going to take the money out and use the money tax-free for college, tuition, books, computer, supplies, anything to do with college. And that goes for secondary education.
So
and
but those are the limitations. You have to spend that money on college-related things.
Yeah, very good point. If you take the money out and you don't use this money for college expenses under the guidelines, there's a 10% penalty plus taxable income.
Wow.
Now, very often people say to me, well, what happens if my son or daughter doesn't go to college? So what you're allowed to do is actually change the beneficiary from one account to the other. So it's not like you're losing any type of access for the funds. And very often, I say this to even people who are going to be retired, very often retired folks start to take some part-time college or educational classes. I said, why don't we put away some money for yourself so that you could use these funds, tax-free growth, tax-free earnings, for your classes, because people need to continue to do something, learn, strive to better themselves, even in retirement.
So that's an interesting option there. If your child does not elect to go to college, maybe goes to, starts his own business or any other number of things, you say you can divert that money to another account. For another child or for yourself? Absolutely,
absolutely. I would be the successor, and I name my son or my daughter the beneficiary, and if my daughter decides to maybe go to fashion school or golf school or cooking school, those dollars are also appropriate for those types of education. But if my daughter Danielle did not want to go to this specific college and chose to do something else and start a business, then I could make Jack, my second child, the beneficiary, to use the funds for his education also.
Wow, that's a great plan.
Yeah.
Now, is this available in every state, or does
It is
vary?
available in every state, and as always, I have to say that you need to look at the prospectus, you need to read the fine print so you understand the risks involved with these mutual fund investments, and you want to look at fees. And sometimes it's overwhelming, and I always advise that you should turn to a coach, turn to someone. Don't be embarrassed to ask the questions if you call the 800 number, to really ask the questions as to how does this pertain to me? What are the rules? What are the costs? What are the fees? What kind of fluctuation can I see? And more importantly, what type of growth can I expect to have my money do over a period of time?
So you can make an informed decision.
Oh, by the way, I just want to say this. This is a trust. This is a trust account. Very often, you know, regular people think that, oh, I have to be wealthy to have these trust accounts. The language of this account is if I don't use the money for college, there's a 10% penalty.
Okay.
The monies grow on a tax-free basis. Distributions are tax-free.
So that's something they've got to consult a professional about.
Yeah.
We're out of time, but
Thanks.
fascinating stuff. We'll have you back again to talk more.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Saul.